blocks north and 2 blocks west. I had the map and ignored the rest. Wound up on a street I'd never seen, a neighborhood I'd never been. And there you were outside a store I'd never had a reason for. Before this afternoon of wrong, directions in a perfect song. Every wrong turn led me here, every detour made it clear that navigation wasn't something I was ever good at. But nothing ever pointed me as well as the afternoon I fell off the map and onto this street where somehow I got to meet. I asked you if you knew the way back to where I'd started that day. You walked me there and past the turn and added 3 more blocks to learn. Later I admitted that I knew the route and added them for you. 2 extra blocks of your company is always worth the geography. Every wrong turn led me here, every detour made it clear that navigation wasn't something I was ever good at. But nothing ever pointed me as well as the afternoon I fell off the map and onto this street where somehow I got to meet. They say there's no such thing as lost, just places you haven't crossed before. And maybe that's what this location is, the coordinates of bliss, buried in the wrong directions, in the unplanned intersections of 2 people and an afternoon who weren't supposed to find each other soon. Every wrong turn brought me to the one right thing, which was you. Every detour, every missed turn was never really missed. Every wrong road that I took led me to the second look at a street I'd never found if I'd stayed on familiar ground. I took the wrong road and ended up exactly right. I'm keeping the detour. Halfway through the afternoon, the clouds made their decision soon, enough that neither of us had prepared for it, which wasn't bad. Because my bag produced the thing, collapsed and telescoping, and suddenly we shared a canopy of blue above the 2 of us, candidly too small. Under one umbrella, closer than the occasion strictly required. The shelter getting smaller, the closer that it got. I admired the efficiency of rainfall to mind at all. Your sleeve was getting the runoff from the tilt I'd angled up to keep your shoulder dry at the cost of my jacket getting glossed with a particular shine of wet that I'd have taken any bet on wearing for considerably longer than required, reasonably speaking. Under one umbrella, closer than the occasion strictly required, the shelter getting smaller the closer that it got. I admired the efficiency of rainfall in its particular timing. Under one umbrella, finding reasons not to mind at all. The forecast hadn't mentioned this, the app had promised clear and crisp, and yet here was the clearest evidence that the nearest thing to a good plan is a collapsed umbrella and someone worth sharing the coverage of. One inadequate canopy above, under one umbrella still, neither of us moving until the rain had its opinion heard and delivered its last word. Under one umbrella, grateful for the forecast being faithful in its error, in its mess. I'd carry a spare for exactly this. It wasn't raining when we left, but I'll bring it again, just in case.
The shuffle ended on the track I hadn't heard in ages back, since the album dropped in autumn, and I played it till the bottom of my patience for repeating any song. The retreating into other things, and then your speakers brought it back again. You like the bridge best, same as me. The verse that everybody skips, we keep. The melody I hum in grocery stores, you've got it mapped onto your floors of memory too. The synchronized discovery of being recognized in someone's playlist. In the track they've kept on their favorites coming back. We spent an hour going through the shared and unshared, the new to you that I'd loved for years, the new to me through your ears. The overlap was bigger than expected for two people, and the gaps were music has a way of being the shortcut to the unseeing interior, the shelved and private catalog of what you've prized. It says the things you didn't know how to otherwise show someone new, and yours showed me more of you than your words could be. You made a playlist for the drive, and every track confirmed alive what the overlap had started. Nothing random, nothing parted from the version of yourself that I've been finding on the shelf of your favorites, the curated evidence of how you're made. You played the chorus, and I knew every single word. So did you.
Row G, seats 4 and 5. We'd argued over which to buy. You wanted something with a twist, I wanted something on the list of things I'd already liked before. We settled at the theater door on something neither of us chose, and it turned out neither of us knows themselves as well as we'd assumed. Sitting in the dark beside you, everything the screen was showing felt secondary to the knowing that your shoulder was that close. Sitting in the dark beside you, the popcorn between us growing cold because neither of us was reaching for it anymore. You laughed at parts I didn't expect and covered your face at the wrecked emotional sequences that I pretended not to notice while I watched you more than anything projected on that evening wall of light. And afterwards I couldn't recall the exact words of the plot. Sitting in the dark beside you, everything the screen was showing felt secondary to the knowing that your shoulder was that close. Sitting in the dark beside you, the popcorn between us growing cold because neither of us was reaching for it anymore. We stayed through all the credits and the theater lights came up, and still we sat there in the glow of it. 2 cups of something finished, a receipt of 2 hours at seats G4 and 5, the particular proof that we are spectacular at choosing accidentally right. Sitting in the light now with you, everything the afternoon is showing feels exactly like the knowing that began in row G there. Sitting in the light now with you, the afternoon between us reaching for but found somehow. The credits rolled and neither of us made a move to stand. We're still sitting.
Space key, and I have been through quite a lot this evening. Every version typed and erased, every emoji carefully placed, and then removed as too much or not enough of the touch of casual. I'm performing for an audience of one this morning. Before I hit send, before the delivered notice appears, before the shiver of the notification going through the particular, not knowing that lives between the typed and the received, the striped three dots awaiting to see what comes back to me. I asked my friend to read it over. She said it sounded fine, moreover, overthought, which is correct. I deleted her approved and checked version anyway and started fresh, the newly wholehearted draft number 9 of something that says nothing but means everything. Before I hit send, before the delivered notice appears, before the shiver of the notification going through the particular, not knowing that lives between the typed and the received, the striped three dots awaiting to see what comes back to me. Draft 12 is 3 words shorter than draft 2. The words that made it to the final cut are the ones I almost cut first, but kept because they're true, even if they're not the view from the composed and casual angle I was originally attempting to manage. After I hit send, after delivered confirms it, after whatever reply arrives or doesn't, comes or not, the dozen drafts collapse to one. The thing is finally done. I hit send, it turns out fine. Draft 12 was the right line. 12 drafts and counting. Finally sent. You offered at the corner. I said I was fine. The shorter route was 3 blocks and I knew it, but somehow we both blew it. Past 3 blocks without noticing the pavement and the promising direction of your company, extending past where it should be. Walking home takes longer now. I don't mind even a little how each block becomes a reason Walking home is different now. The porch arriving somehow too quickly. The goodbye at the doorstep, the particular sigh of ending it. The pace of us is slower than my usual year-longer span of step accommodating mine without a word. The design of two people finding their rhythm, naturally fitting with them. Side by side on the pavement there, neither of us in any particular hurry anywhere. Walking home takes longer now. I don't mind even a little how each block becomes a reason to stay beside the route and you. Walking home is different now. The porch arriving somehow too quickly. The goodbye at the doorstep, the particular sigh of ending it. 3 blocks became 8, became a different neighborhood, the same stars above a different street. The particular bittersweet of getting somewhere you didn't intend to, of the unwritten detour that two people take when neither wants the evening to break. Walking home takes longer now, and I plan for it somehow. Leave earlier to arrive at the same time. Stay alive to every extra corner that appears when you are walking at this pace with me. I'll always find I have more time when you're beside. La 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 la, all the way home. La 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 la, with you.
You read your number out to me, standing at the counter, casual free. The way you'd give your order like it was nothing but my thumb on the mic of my screen hovered longer than the playlist warranted my plan to act unbothered, failing slightly at the contact page, arriving brightly. What do I save you under? What title stops the wondering? What label fits the category of someone entering my story? What do I save you under? The cursor blinking becomes the thunder of the first small declaration of this particular anticipation. I spelled your full name very carefully, deleted it completely, barely typed the shorter version back, then the longer, trying to track which size of admission this deserved the enormous bliss of choosing how you'd live inside my pocket from that day beside. What do I save you under? What title stops the wondering? What label fits the category particular anticipation. In the end I used the version you'd introduced at the counter in person 2 weeks prior to this moment before the precipice of 7 digits on a lit screen, somehow shifting what everything could mean between 2 people at a cafe on an otherwise unremarkable day. Save the complete version of your name, nothing abbreviated or the same as any shorthand, the official receipt of a contact I'm hoping to keep on repeat before the alphabetical order buries it in the typical scroll, the one I'll reach for first before the listing puts you dispersed. 7 digits,
1 hesitation,
3 seconds before I
hit save.
both names, full version. That's how I knew. I've heard it called across rooms 100,000 afternoons since the particular Sunday my parents settled on it all the way. Through mispronounced and rushed, through short and through the hushed instinct to correct each time. But yours registers different every time. The way yours says it slows the pace. 2 syllables occupying space between your exhale and whatever follows this specific weather pattern of a single title that became something vital to distinguish in any crowd. Yours above every other loud version of it. At gatherings with 30 others, I'll locate yours among all others, cutting across the noise completely to arrive precisely neatly at wherever I'm positioned. The reaction pre-commissioned before the processing catches up to the recognition filling up. The way yours says it slows the pace. 2 syllables occupying space between your exhale and whatever follows this specific weather pattern of a single title that became something vital to distinguish in any crowd. Yours above every other loud version of it. I've introduced this particular arrangement of letters without any amazement at the response for years and years, but lately passing it over appears to carry curiosity along about whether yours will do the song that only yours has ever pulled from syllables I thought I knew fully. The way yours pronounces it carries something no repetition buries beneath familiarity's exterior. Nothing about it is inferior, but yours makes it entirely new. Each occasion that yours goes through, the motion I've had this label my entire life, but yours made it able to surprise me. Nobody's ever pronounced it quite the way yours does. I could listen to it all afternoon. November's back, we first shook hands at a table neither of us planned, on staying at past 9 that night. But closing time still found us there alright. 360 days a year of texts and calls that kept us near. For half a decade I was blind to what I was leaving behind. The whole time it was already this. The whole time I was missing what I'd miss. If anything it pulled you elsewhere, all those years I was already there. In it without the label for it, holding on without the frame for it. The whole time it was already you. I just hadn't added it up to. Tuesday evening changed the arithmetic. I was helping you rehearse through it, something difficult, and then I caught myself wishing to spend every Tuesday doing this. And suddenly the calculation of everything fell into its place. I recognized what I'd been facing, and the whole time it was already this. The whole time I was missing what I'd miss. If anything it pulled you elsewhere, all those years I was already there. In it without the label for it, holding on without the frame for it. The whole time it was already you. I just hadn't added it up to. 6 Novembers is a long rehearsal for a truth requiring no corsel. Out of hiding it was never hidden, just unnamed and therefore unbidden into the conversation, until Tuesday evening cracked it still wide open, and I finally understood what you already were to me. The whole time it was already love. No grand arrival, no push or shove into the realization, just a slow accumulation of every ordinary proof that was always sitting above my ability to calculate, until that Tuesday made it straight. You were someone I already loved before I understood what that meant. Now I understand.